Welcome to the first Golden Globe winning podcast, Home Fries. I'm Sam.
I'm Dawson.
And on today's episode, we are going to try and win a Golden Globe. Now, Dawson.
Yes.
Do you have just a preliminary any questions about what we're about to do?
I have a few.
Go ahead.
You told me that there's now a category for best podcasts at the Golden Globes. That is true.
This is true. This year, the Golden Globes, one of the greatest organizations in the world of awards. They, for the most part, have like 7 people who vote for them. You invite them to a lunch and then you win an award. They have now created a podcasting category. Now, most people believe they created this category to give the Smart List boys a trophy. But don't those boys have enough?
They have way too many. Also, they have other things that they can get trophies for.
Exactly. Don't you know how many trophies Will Arnett has for Reese's commercials?
Too many.
He's rolling in it.
Is he the Reese's guy?
He did like a Reese's commercial.
One. Okay.
I don't know if there's been a bunch of them, but
and he's resting upon his laurels now, upon his Reese's laurels now.
We're happy for the man. But
good.
This episode is all about submitting to the Golden Globes for consideration a Golden Globe award-winning podcast from us.
I see. Okay. So was there any information from the Golden Globes about what you needed to have done or do?
No. They were very unclear about what this award means. No one's sure if it's scripted podcast, if it's documentary podcast, if it's chat podcast, if they're just throwing everything that has ever been on an RSS feed into a giant pile and then picking the most famous people out of it. No one is entirely sure. And I have a gut feeling no one will ever be entirely sure.
Cool. So that's great, because there are podcasts that are 6 hours long about the rise and fall of Rome. There are podcasts descripting in detail the murders of innocent people.
And this episode will be 15 minutes long and cover all of those things.
So, you better get started.
Let's cover Rome. Let's cover Rome first.
Okay.
They rose, and then the Alexander the Great. Is that the right era?
No.
Give me a name. Give me a name real quick. I need a name. I need a name so fast.
Romulus.
Romulus. Made an Alien movie. I believe Alien Romulus came out last year. And that was really, it was like a box office success, but not like as much as Disney wanted. And that was the true falling of Rome. Next subject, murder, bad, don't do it. It was probably the husband. So we've already like lapped all these other podcasts now.
Okay, so we've covered that. So then there's music podcasts, which you're more familiar with. What do you got?
Okay, so usually you'll have an artist come on and they'll dissect a song in excruciating detail. Like, let's say that there's a trumpet line in a song. Can you give me a quick trumpet line, Dawson? You know, what's interesting about that trumpet is we added it to create some more layers, some more texture in the music, and you can't really hear it if you're just listening in a car, but you can feel it. And so we've laughed music podcast.
Fantastic. Was that Genius? Were you doing Genius just then?
I mean, there's Song Exploder is another one of them. There's a whole world.
Fascinating. Sports podcast, Sam. I need you to do a sports podcast.
Look, here is the thing. There is no player in the NBA better than Nikola Jokic. That's a take.
There you go.
It's pretty good.
Hot take.
And because we need to go viral with this take, we need to take it one step further. I will also say that every other basketball player is bad. Okay, so we've covered sports podcasts, we've covered history podcasts, and we've covered music podcasts. We have not even reached the 5-minute mark. This is going great.
Super well.
Dawson, there's another type of podcast.
Oh, yeah, please.
Celebrities inviting their friends on to chat.
Okay.
Now,
who do we have?
We don't have anyone. We have nothing. So here's my suggestion.
Okay.
Between now and when the Golden Globes are, you buy a lot of bots to follow you on Instagram.
That's actually pretty doable. Like, not that I want to or want to pay, but that's a doable thing.
So you spend that money out of your own bank account. I am not contributing to this at
why
all.
Me? Why me? You make way more money than I do.
I have money because I don't spend it on frivolous things. So Dawson, you buy these bots, and then you're famous, and this is a podcast where I talk to my famous friend, and we've covered that.
Okay, so I get famous, and then I'm the famous one on the podcast.
Yeah, you're my famous friend.
I think it'd be easier to dupe a celebrity into coming on.
I'm not a scammer or a hustler. I'm simply suggesting we scam and hustle the Golden Globes.
We use bots. That's fine. Okay, because there's another one.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's another one, which is a sitcom cast, or just select members of a sitcom cast reminisce about their time on that sitcom.
Now, Dawson, we have never starred in a sitcom together. Is that correct?
No, never.
But we have done university theater together.
We have.
We have been friends for now 2 years, 2.5, 3 years.
I think 3, closer to 3 now.
And our friendship was birthed through being in a university play together.
Yeah.
And no one has seen it, so that will make it hard for us to recap it. But I will, for you, the audience, because I'm one of these actors. Dawson, you know this. As soon as a line enters my brain, it stays there forever.
It's always there.
And so I will deliver a monologue from that play. And then Dawson,
I know the one.
After I deliver this monologue, I want you to recap it. So we can do a recap pod. Okay.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Now, for context for the audience, this play took place in the South. And so the accent you will hear me do,
yes,
is Southern, despite what your ears might tell you.
It is Southern. He doesn't tell you where in the South.
No, just like South. Dig, 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 dig. Lunch, dig, 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 drank, dinner, drank, drank, drank. Dawson, you mind recapping that very emotional monologue for me?
I remember, man, back when we were doing that play. Sam, you just did it for us again, and it was we did a week of shows, and the light would come down on Sam, and he was sitting down on this bench, and he would do. I mean, we all knew it. We all knew it was the dig moment, right? And audiences were just captivated by Sam, and so through each now, and you just heard it. You just heard his performance because he imbues each next word with just the weight of the working class and the weight of what tomorrow's shift is going to bring with such these physical jobs that we do. And Sam really brought to the table every night this sort of bombacity to the role. And then he would walk. He always did this thing, which I loved, is he would walk off stage right after. We're all in tears, right? We're all just shaken. And then he would deliver one of the best one-liners, just to kind of ease the tension backstage, because we're all sad, we're all broken, and he would lighten the mood. We'd all go back on there, and it was always a killer night, and it was all of it was just waiting for that dig to come out.
And what's so fun about this is this podcast is dripping in irony and sarcasm, and that monologue sincerely happened on stage in a production.
Earnestly.
We cannot stress this enough that I actually did perform that monologue verbatim in front of people who, and this is very important, paid money.
To see it. Paid to see it. Now, Sam, that was that exactly the monologue? Because it was pretty dang close, if I recall. Like, that is pretty much it.
I said dig a bunch of times, and then said lunch, and then said dig
And
more
dinner.
times, and then drink, and then dinner. I feel like there might have been literally 2 or 3 other words that I forgot, but the gist of it,
the gist was there. The gist was there.
I did. Like, my sister right now is doing theater stuff, which I'm very excited. She's incredibly talented. I'm very proud of her. But I'm so jealous because I saw her in a show where she played like a very fun character. It was like this broad comedy, and she killed. Yes. She got like a ton of laughs. She got like nominated for this very fun role. And I watched it, and the entire time I was like, I swear to God, every time I was cast in a play, they were like, he should play dark and twisted and some like really out there stuff.
You are, now this is, I'm sorry to pump your brakes here, kind of like notoriously like, oh, funny guy Sam. Like, you try to be like, you have fun. You're always trying to bring jokes. And
I know this podcast is very serious, but outside of it,
it's not a good tell.
Jokes like eggs.
Well, you're working. You're at work, so you take it very seriously. But you've never been cast as a funny role. I think you've written yourself as a funny role multiple times. And the world at the time seemingly wasn't ready for it.
I don't know if wasn't ready for it isn't the word. Didn't like it might be more. Like, I don't think they were like, this is ahead of its time. They were like, this is bad. But I will say, I almost exclusively played like really dark and messed up characters. In school, I like content warning, trigger warning. In high school, I played a school shooter.
Yeah.
In university, like, I played Mr. Dig, which was just heart-wrenching. Yeah. And I played like a stroke victim in one play, but the twist, I mean, I won't give away the twist, but the twist was worse. And
terrestrial. Yeah.
I'm glad we took this pivot down my old world of acting, and we wonder why I, like Alec Baldwin, have retired from the world of film and acting.
Well, you're doing fantastic in your position now, and I think you found the right path for you.
Speaking of film and acting, there is, of course, the podcast that's just like they talk about movies.
Movies, yeah.
So, Dawson, what's the last movie you saw?
I saw Sinners.
Good movie.
It's a great movie.
Great, we covered that. What other types of podcasts? Oh, this is a big one. These like health and advice podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
Where they try to help you through things in your life.
Yeah,
now, Dawson,
what's the last hardship you faced, Sam? What's the last hardship? I know you were just about to send it at me. No, Uno reverse card. What's the last hardship you faced? Let's talk about it live on camera and on the microphone.
Of course, no, and I'll be earnest with you. Like, I think it's important when you host a podcast like this that gives advice about health and life that you bare your soul, because people, they want that connection of a person who is ready to share what's going on with them. Like, that's why you see these podcasts out there with millions and millions of listeners. These people telling their real stories. So I'll tell one now.
Please.
I was digging one day, and I kept on digging, and it was really intense. Because my arms are so weak. You've seen them.
They look big, but they're small.
And so then I grabbed lunch, and then I went back to digging, and then I went home and I drank and I had dinner. And then I went to sleep and I digged the next day. And what I learned from that is, and I think this really changed the way I look at things. There's always more dirt in the hole. Literally. Like, there's so much. And I kept digging, and it looked like nothing changed, but I knew that things had changed because I was sweaty and it was upsetting to look at. And there's still, to this day, more dirt in the hole. So my advice to you is get like a different job. It's really hard to dig.
Like a steam engine shovel, perhaps? Maybe we get a machine to do it?
Yeah. What other types of podcasts do we need to address? Because we're coming up on the end of this show.
Are we? Okay, video game podcast. I played Death Stranding today. Good. There we go. We got video games covered. Fantastic.
Great.
Yeah.
And
how was 2K last week?
I've been, I've got this whole league going on right now where I've drafted fantasy players from across generations, and I'm smoking out there. It's killer.
There you go. Who's your star player?
My star player is a 23-year-old LeBron James.
Oh,
I went back in time.
You're like rookie LeBron James.
Yep. So I'm scrolling through the Apple podcast, section. They've got stuff like religion and spirituality. My dad's Jewish, my mom's Catholic, so I grew up largely confused. Covered that.
Fantastic.
They've got scripted podcasts, which we did because I did the monologue, so great.
There you go. We also did earnestly reminisce about those times, so we kind of covered that section.
And I think we've covered the main pots of podcasting, other than the podcasters who just say conspiracy theories about real things and kind of destroy democracy.
Oh.
Do you want to take a swing?
So I was researching actually into what 5G waves can do to your brain. And you see, you have to understand that these 5G waves can affect your testosterone. And what that can do is emasculate you as a man. And so they set up these 5G towers all along the province. And they broadcast these waves that affect water molecules, so you drink it. They affect your body's proteins, and they change you from the inside. And so that's why we have an epidemic of these super feminine men.
Anyways, so that's me. Sorry.
And our main point is Golden Globes. We don't know what you want. We think you want famous people. We can't offer you that. But we have offered you every type of podcast there is. And I beg you, I plead to you, just like invite us to the, not even, it doesn't even have to be the award show. Just like, I know there's luncheons. I'd love to go to a luncheon. It's my deepest desire in life to go to a luncheon. I've never been invited to one. I've been invited to but not a luncheon. So I really want to meet the Smartless boys. I have so many questions for Will Arnett about his truck commercials, and so many questions for Jason Bateman about what it's like to make this face, and so many questions for Sean Hayes about how it feels to be the least successful person on a podcast. Thank you so much for listening to Home Fries. I'm Sam.
I'm Dawson.
And remember, this is a Golden Globe eligible ? Podcast.
Podcast?